Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Emma, behind the camera is Alex. Today we are in Whitby, which is in the northeast of England in Yorkshire, and we will be spending the day exploring Whitby and the surrounding area. Our first stop today is Saltwell Bay, which we have heard has a pretty high chance of being able to find your very own fossil on the beach.
So the type of fossils that you can apparently find here are dinosaur fossils and reptile fossils. And I am not particularly picky when it comes to finding fossils, having never found one before, but I would be delighted if I can find some kind of swirly little marking in a rock. That's all it is.
So apparently the best place to find the fossils is on the foreshore. So we have come here at low tide in the hope that we can find some ancient relics from the past.
They operate a finders keepers policy here. So if you find any fossils, no matter how amazing it is, it's all yours. Now they do ask, just a little bit of etiquette, that you inform them, I don't know who them is,
but you should
inform them of your find so scientifically they can have a little look.
I'm not sure about that. What do you reckon? It's a spiral shape, which kind of reminds me of a fossil, but it's not particularly detailed, so it could quite easily just be a funny shaped rock.
I mean, for the video, I think that's a fossil.
It's definitely a fossil. Oh, I think I've legitimately found a fossil.
Really?
I think so. Okay, look at this rock. That's definite markings in the rock. It's like a circular imprint, like loads of these little lines going in like a Fibonacci type sequence. I may have found another fossil.
What?
This one looks really cool though, look. You can full on see, it's almost like different from the rock, whereas the other one's like an imprint into the rock, whereas this one actually looks like a different material almost. This is really cool. The whole landscape of this beach is a little bit weird. You have the normal beach with the sand on it and rocks and stuff, and then as you come down here, it's almost like you're walking on, I'm sure that one of you will recognize what type of rock this is, but it kind of reminds me of just like slate. It's so strange.
According to my sources are the internet, that it is not too hard to find fossils here, but I actually did not think it was going to be this easy. This is like shooting fish in a barrel. There's just fossils everywhere.
How many have you found, Al?
There's fossils everywhere.
Oh, this is crazy! What the hell? I've just found two more. That's really cool. You can see like loads of different bits on this one. I think I can spot a bright red anemone. I could be completely wrong, but it looks like one once it's closed up. So anemones are those kind of weird looking things in the water that have like loads of tentacles on the top.
It's Nemo's home.
Yeah, Nemo's home. So some of the small ones you can actually touch, but the bigger ones will sting you, and you probably shouldn't go anywhere near them. But this one down here looks like it's all closed, and maybe once the tide comes in, it's high tide, it'll open again. Oh, I think there might be another one over there. Maybe it's a rock, I can't tell. No, it's another one. Yeah, you can see they're not only like, they're all along the bottom half of the rock. You have like loads of these little red little blobs going everywhere. Holy crap! Okay, this is the best fossil we have found so far. Look at that bad boy. That is a full-on fossil.
We're going to probably have to stop at that one. We're not going to beat that fossil. That's ridiculous.
No, this is definitely the best one. This is crazy. Look at it. You can see the full-on shape.
This was a massive surprise. I cannot believe how cool this little place is.
I never expected to wake up this morning and go and find a bunch of fossils. Probably the coolest souvenirs we've ever had. So we just got into Whitby, and my first impressions is that it feels like a really authentic, thriving seaside town that isn't struggling. And it's so often you go to the seaside towns and everything looks really worn out. There's not many people around, the places aren't very busy, but here it's thriving. There's people everywhere enjoying fish and chips on the seaside, eating their ice creams. So I have been a little bit tempted and bought myself some chippies from the chip shop. Whitby's pretty well known as being the place that inspired Bram Stokers Dracula, which we will be doing a separate video about. But today we are going to spend a proper seaside day here in England. No trip to a seaside town could be complete without an arcade. I'm pretty sure every seaside town has one of these, and it's basically a place like this full of really rubbish games to play. I don't think I know anyone who actually loves these places genuinely. I feel like you have to take them with a pinch of salt. They've been around for years. Before Brits used to go abroad on holiday, these were very much a focal point for entertainment at the seaside towns. Whenever you come to these places, you have to come with a lot of cash because you need a lot of change to play the games. The 2p machines, I think, are especially rubbish, which is why I like them the best. You take a 2p coin, you put it in the machine, and it knocks off the prizes off the edge. Smells so good in here.
I'm sick of the smell.
I can imagine.
I need to apologise to you, my cyber bean friends. One, we haven't been getting fat together lately, so how's your waistline? But two, it's a meal that I haven't even had since I've been back in England. Don't know what I was thinking about. This is one of my favourites. Oh, you don't want to know what's inside this bag. So in here, I have a hog roast sandwich, which is pork stuffing and applesauce in a bab. So the combination of the three things is exquisite. Exquisite. And something that is really great the more north you go up in England is the cheaper it gets. So this has cost me £3.20. In the south, I wouldn't get a little slither of pork for £3.20, but here I can get a whole bab. So it's usually some slow cooked pork, which is really, really soft, and then smothered in applesauce, which is that sweet and savoury taste, lovely, and then stuffing. Add stuffing to anything. It's kind of one of my rules.
The only thing that would make that better is a bit of gravy to dunk it in.
No, this is, as it is, this to me is genuinely perfect.
Another really great cheap thing that you can do here in Whitby, you can actually go on a boat trip called the Captain Cook Experience. For those of you who don't know who Captain Cook is, he is a well-known explorer, most famous for his discovery of Australia, and he left on this exploration from Whitby.
If you want to get really, really local, there is a traditional sweet that we eat here in England. Now, I haven't actually had this since I was a child. It's very traditional that you will see rock, especially in the seaside towns. So rock looks like this. It's just a big, long stick of hard, sweet sugar.
It's basically like a boiled sweet.
One long boiled sweet that you kind of chew on. So this one is called Whitby Rock, and depending on the place you go, they will all be specific to the area. So as we're in Whitby, it has written on the rock, Whitby. So there is so many different flavours of rock. However, traditional is just mint or also aniseed, but I'm a sucker for all the different colours, and I never really liked it that much as a kid. So I've gone for a flavoured pineapple one, but they have loads of different flavours, including like gin and tonic, scrumpy cider, Prosecco. This one here is pineapple, and I don't actually remember how you eat it. Do you just bite it?
I think you just gnaw on it.
I usually would just bite it, but I'm just thinking out loud, like I'm waiting for one of you to be like, actually, we eat it this way. If you do come to a seaside town here in England, make sure you grab a stick of rock and you might not be disappointed. Oh my god, it's actually sticking my mouth together. In my teeth. It's actually in my teeth. It's like cement.
Oh no!
Tastes good though. If I was in another country, I'd probably rip the shit out of this. It's pretty average at best. There's like a slight nice flavour, but that's about as good as it gets. So, rock, yeah shit.
What would you give it a rating, a bean rating out of 5?
It's a 1, it is a 1. Like, you try it, because it's really cheap. Like, this was like 70p. But outside of that, good souvenir for your family though.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Free fossils is a good souvenir for your family. Rubbish. Oh, my God. Seaside towns get a lot of stick in England by the locals, and rightly so on the most part. However, this one really is well worth a visit.
Definitely. I mean, I'm from Brighton, which is a seaside town in itself, as is Alex from Weston. And both Brighton and Weston they do seem a little bit run down, and you can definitely tell that they're not as popular as they used to be, these seaside
They need a bit of
resorts.
love.
Definitely. But it seems like Whitby has all the love.
If you do come to a seaside town and you're not from the UK, please take it with the biggest pinch of salt, because it's not something we are particularly proud of in general as British people.
But I think it is an essential part of the British experience to go to one of the seaside towns and try it out. Our day in the sunshine here is coming to an end. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to leave us a comment below. What is your favourite seaside resort and why? Is it better than Whitby? Does it have fossils? Tell us.
And subscribe with your thumb. If you haven't subscribed, I'm so used to doing that, Jesus Christ. Oh. And finally, nothing gives me more pleasure than to not doing the beans out thing today. Emma?
Beans out!
Ah, so bad. Beans out!
Oh my god!